the way around it. Just cut it at the 90 degrees and leave as much as you possible. All right, now you have your throttle control area. I'm going to show you how that goes. What you do is you're going to get a piece of plastic that's cut like this. Now it's going to have a little bit of what's called webbing. Okay, it's kind of hard to pull, especially at an inch deep, without getting a little bit of webbing. What you do is just take a little CA and run it in the all four corners, and go ahead and let it dry. I would use some kicker or whatever to let that dry. Then we're going to come down and measure that back from the corner here, 5/8 of an inch, and we do that all the way around. And then we're going to cut this out. And once you cut it out, if you want to shave that webbing off until it's square, your CA should make everything hold together because you're going to put a bead in there. All right, once you get that cut out, just lay it to the side. All right, you're going to come in here and you're going to cut this out. Cut it back as deep as you can, all the way around. You're going to put glue in all four corners again and just cut away any webbing. All right, this glues right onto the front of this piece here. All right, and once you get that piece glued to the front of here, you can go ahead and paint it first, or I glued it all together and then painted it later. But you're going to take this and glue it right to this area, center on this area here, and make sure you don't get into your gauges. Just have to slide it over just a little bit and just glue it onto the front there. Okay. There is a resin piece that comes with this. This is glued, follows the line of the dash, and it's glued into place there. I put it on before I painted it, and then painted it all at one time. Okay. As far as there are some real fine lines here. It is, you can see where they stop. You want them to go all the way to the top on the top, so it comes here and goes around about halfway. That's the top half. That's so your lines, you can see how they come up here and stop about halfway. All right. There's a resin flap wheel. Okay, that you just glue that onto the side once it's painted. You paint it separate. The throttle levers, there will be toothpicks provided. All you have to do is cut them off square right in the middle, sand them, just lightly sand them, and glue them at 90 degrees. Okay, you're going to do 4 of those. And you go ahead and drill real small holes, and then keep getting bigger until these fall out. I think it's like a 3/64 that these will just slide right in. All right, and you want to make them long enough. What they did is they just barely did not meet in the middle. You can see that. You can make all 4 of them. You just have to measure them and sand them. Then once you're through, paint them. Okay. There's also a resin piece that goes up on top right here. There was multiple little toggle switches there. There'll be plenty of toothpicks supplied, so you can just drill little holes there and insert them from the bottom, sand them off, insert them from the bottom underneath, and that will provide, and paint them silver first, and then that'll provide toggle switches if you want, or buttons, however. There'll be plenty of pins provided. You may get they come in red, green, white, and black, and blue, so you may have to paint them all white. There was 4 levers that went down here. But anyway, once this is put together, it just slides right into place. You'll end up having to glue it once you're done. I went in the wrong way. But it just slides right into place. Alright. The joysticks. Okay, there's a resin piece for the half a steering wheel, if that's what you want to call it, and then there'll be some dowel rod. These are 3/16 inch dowel. There's divots in the main base that you will drill out with a 3/16 inch drill. You just paint your wheel, glue it to the top of the dowel, make it however high you want, and it will just push down. You drill that hole out, and it'll push down into place. Okay, you do that for each side. The chairs are pretty easy. When you get the chair, let me grab the chair real quick. When you get the chair, it'll look like this. You just cut just close as you can to the edge, and then keep cutting it until it's nice and clean, however you want it to look. Alright, you can see the chair here that I've cut out. Alright, that's pretty fairly self-explanatory. The pedestals that the chair set on, they'll be on a sheet like this. There'll be 2 sheets because there's 2 chairs. You cut away everything all the way around and leave. You want to leave it to where it's just flat. Okay, you don't want to leave any flashing on it. Cut it as nice as you want. Now this can be filled if you want to make it a little bit sturdier. You can put balsa in there. I think it was maybe in 3/16 or a 1/4 inch wide balsa, and push it into place to make that nice and rigid. This just gives you the piece pre-made, so you know how to slide that in if that's what you want to do. But once you're done, this glues right along the back edge of the seat, just to where this is touching. I just CA'd that on there. And the chairs come in here and they slide up just about so. And when you finish it out, you'll end up having to glue them in place. Okay? Now, that's pretty much the cockpit put in. You will, like I said, you'll have to glue the sides in. Once you've trial fitted everything, glue the sides in first before installing all this other stuff. But everything is about trial and error and fitting it in place. Alright, that kind of mainly covers the main cockpit. The only other thing, there will be a big piece of ABS that you can close this off, because since you can't see back in there, I really didn't see with the strength of trying to cut this out and being able to look down in there. So it'll be a big enough piece of ABS that you can put in here, and I would just paint it black because by the time you add this, you wouldn't be able to see back in there anyway. So you just glue the ABS on the back. It'll lock that in really nice and tight, and paint, and it'll just blacken that off where you can't see back there anyway. All right. Well, I've got the front one done. I'm gonna get a little bit more work done, and we'll move on to the front where the bombardier's section is. So we'll be back.